Hi, folks. My name is Jabbar Thomas, and I'm your instructor for Dmpt Basic Video Editing for the Fall 2021 semester. This short walkthrough video is designed to make you familiar with the Blackboard website or the Blackboard page for the course. Because most of you have been in DMPT classes before, and you might have even taken me before, this will be a relatively brief video because I'm pretty sure you're familiar with how I work. So if you look at the Blackboard website here, you'll see on the home page, you'll see all of the classes that you're in. In my case, it's showing me all the classes that I'm teaching. Yours will look a little different. You'll just see all the classes that you're currently enrolled in. I will click on the DMPT 2600 Basic Video Editing course. You'll do the same thing. And we are now inside of the course. As you know, the first page that pops up is the announcement section. If you look at the table of contents, the index to the left-hand side, you'll see the announcements link there. If you have to get to the announcements page from any place else in the Blackboard site for the course, just click on the announcements link there. Please make sure you check your announcements at least once a week, at least once a week on Mondays, because of the fact that I publish new announcements for the week on Mondays, and the announcements that I publish for the week basically tell you everything that you need to be aware of that we're going to be doing during the week. It'll give you deadlines for quizzes and exams and projects. Sometimes during the week, I'll also post additional announcements Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe sometimes on the weekend. So these other announcements will be maybe changes to what we're doing or what we're doing in the class, that is, or the announcements may be additional information that will be helpful to you, or maybe sometimes additional reminders for big events like projects, things like that. So please make sure you check the announcements within Blackboard often. Please make sure you also check your email, your school email quite often. All the announcements are copied to your school email address so that you can see the announcements in two places, your school email address and also on the announcements page. So there's no reason for you to forget anything or be surprised by anything or forget any assignments. As most of you know, I do not do makeups. I do not do makeups for any missed quizzes, exams, or projects. I don't do retakes or takeovers for anything. How the professional world works in film and video is you have to get it right the first time, on time, if not early. So we know the announcements here. The announcements are given in chronological order, so you want to make sure that you look at either the date that the announcement is listed, or you want to make sure that you look at the one that's at the top of the list. Okay. Now, this course, DMPT 2600, for the first time, this is an online synchronous course. What that means is we will meet every Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. and you have to be on your computer in front of your camera and signed into Blackboard Collaborate Ultra with me from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. every Monday and Wednesday for this fall semester. You have to be there at the same time as me. Think of it as like a Skype or a Zoom video chat, okay, where I'll be giving you instruction just like we're in class, but over video. You must be there. That is a huge portion of your participation in the class, is your presence on the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra meeting every day of the course. Now, how you get there, one of the first things you need to know is basically you sign into the class and you click on this first link right here. It'll take you to the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra page, and you'll see a list of class meetings. For example, this is the first one that we're going to be meeting right here. You would click on this first meeting and it'll take you into the session, and it opens up as early as 15 minutes before class. So 9:45 a.m. is the earliest that you can get involved and get into Blackboard. So Please make sure you are there. If you have any questions on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, please send your questions my way, so we can make sure that you're there and online for the first class, which is tomorrow, Monday, August the 16th at 10 a.m. Okay. You're watching the walkthrough video, but if you ever want to watch it again, the walkthrough video syllabus and no-show assignment item right here is where you would find it. You'll also see a welcome video here. That's really what you find in this section. Also, the syllabus. Make sure that you read the syllabus. You download the syllabus from the site by clicking this link. Just showing you a little bit of how the syllabus looks. Here's right here. Okay. This gives you all the information. 10 to 11:30, Mondays and Wednesdays, online synchronous. Okay. 4-credit-hour course. Here are my conference hours. If you want to see me in my office in C18, please make sure you email me so you can make an appointment to make sure that I'm not busy with another student or handling other business at the time. Or you can call me at this number right here. This is the class textbook. This is absolutely required. There is no way to even begin to pass this course if you choose not to, A, buy the textbook, B, do the exercises in the textbook, or C, do the projects. You must do all three to even think about passing the course. So please make sure that you purchase a textbook as soon as possible, like right now. If you don't already have it, it's in the campus bookstore, or you may purchase it on book retailers like Amazon.com. It's Adobe Premiere Pro CC Classroom in a Book, the 2020 release by Maxim Jago. I understand that many of you, myself included, may have Adobe Premiere Pro 2021. That's fine. Another thing, you also need to make sure that you have access to Adobe Premiere Pro on your own computer, separate from the school. Okay? We no longer have the Creative Cloud Suite available for use in the lab. Basically what it is you can use your own subscription. If you currently have a subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite, you can go to the lab and sign into it and use it there in C24. However, if you don't have an account, you won't be able to use any of the Adobe Creative Cloud's programs, including Adobe Premiere. So please make sure, number one thing, this is an investment in you. This isn't even an investment in a class or an investment at GPTC. This is an investment in you because this is a very important tool that you will be using for a lot of your time at the school and a lot of your time after you graduate and a lot of your time as you work as a professional. Go ahead and get the Adobe Creative Cloud suite. You can get a really good student discount. It starts off, I believe, at $19.99 per month for the first 12 months as a student, and then after that first 12 months it goes up to $29.99 a month. But that's still really good because that is less than, well, about half of what most people pay. The average person may pay upwards of $65 a month for Adobe Creative Cloud. That's if you don't have a subscription. Once again, this is an investment in you. And I always tell people, I'm a filmmaker, screenwriter, director, producer, and I do a whole lot of editing. That's my bread and butter as far as making money, is editing. And one thing I tell people is, if you don't believe in you enough to invest in you, why should someone else? Okay. So if you don't have the money, you need to find the money to get to do things like get a subscription to Adobe Creative Suite, or provide for your other educational and training and professional needs. No one's gonna give you a break in the industry because you're broke or because you don't have much. You've got to find a way, get a job, get a loan, do something whatever you have to do to make sure that you are properly prepared to operate as a professional in the film industry. So that's the book right there. That's the ISBN number there for it. Also, I also told you about the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. Please make sure you access that as soon as possible. PC or Mac, it doesn't matter which. There are a few differences. The main difference between PC and Mac is anytime you have a keyboard shortcut that involves the command key on a Mac, translate that in your mind to the control key on a PC. Usually in tutorials that I write or material that you'll get directly from me, if it's direct instruction like during a collaborate session, I'll normally just use the Adobe Creative Cloud Mac keyboard shortcuts. So I would use, like, for example, the command keyboard shortcuts, like save would be Command S as opposed to Control S because I'm working on a Mac. Okay. And if I gave Mac and PC keyboard shortcuts every time I came up against a keyboard shortcut, things would move a lot slower. So just make sure if you're working on a PC, which is totally fine, make sure you know that some of the keyboard shortcuts are going to be different. The supplemental syllabus, you guys all know about that. There's some other rules that apply to the school, not just the course. These rules are in a supplemental syllabus that you can find on the supplemental syllabus website. The link is right here, or the URL is right there. And here are your student learning outcomes. Okay, here are my course policies. Pretty much most of this is what I said earlier about I don't do late work. I don't do do-overs. Everything has to be done right the first time. Things like that. It's all located there. Please make sure you take your no-show assignment. Okay, your no-show assignment is due Sunday, 29th of August, 2021 by 5 p.m. Don't wait until the last minute, folks, because if you forget and the 29th of August passes and it's not done, essentially the registrar is going to boot you out of the class. They're going to withdraw you from the course, and wherever you're getting your money from, whether it's a student loan or grant or scholarship, they're going to send your money back. And as far as the school is concerned, you're not a student in the course. So please make sure that you complete that no-show assignment. And it's really super easy. You know, it doesn't count towards your grade. It's just documented proof that you actually participated in a assignment for the course. So make sure you knock that out like right after you finish watching this video. The proctored event is the same thing as the final exam. Well, really, the final exam will be proctored during the proctored event using an application called Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor. You probably all used it in the past, especially if you've taken me, but any GPTC course, you use that. So you got details on how to download it and how to use it right there, just in case you're not familiar with it. Once again, no show assignment, don't forget it. Here, this is how we will calculate your grade. You're gonna have 3 projects. Okay, we have the due dates there. All the projects will be hands-on editing projects, and they're going to be really exciting scenes that you're going to be editing. So you get really real-world editing experience. However, in order to even begin to do these projects, you need to make sure that you do the assigned readings in the text and do the exercises in the text consistently and on time. Don't fall behind on your reading and on your exercises. That's the easiest way to do poorly in the course. At the end of every week on Sunday by 11:59 p.m., you have to have completed a quiz on the current lesson or chapter from the book of the week. Okay, and I think we have like maybe 11 or 12 chapters we're going to cover during the semester, but quizzes culminate. They equate to about 15% of your final grade in the course. Please, please, please make sure you do the reading. Keep up with the reading. Do the exercises. Don't just read the book. Do the exercises. Don't just do the exercises. Also read the book. Okay? Give yourself plenty of time. Do not wait until the last second to do the exercises, because the quizzes are based on them, and the exercises, that's how you gain the skills to do the projects. No, I do not grade the exercises that you do in the book. If I did grade them, that's all I'd really have time to do in the course, is just grade exercises, and we wouldn't get anything else done, because as you'll see, you'll be doing a lot of work. Please get hands-on with it, okay, with the software. That's the only way you're gonna become a proficient editor. You notice that we also have a midterm exam on October the 10th. We have the proctored written exam, final exam, on December the 1st. Of course, you have a professionalism grade as well. Okay. After that, we have our course outline, and it basically tells you everything you need to do. Notice that the first column is the week that we're currently in, okay, or module, they want us to call it as well. The second column is what you should be reading or doing during this week. That's listed right here in the module week column. Okay. And then the third column is what you actually turn in for a grade, if anything. Okay. You can see that your first quiz isn't until Sunday, August of 29th, 2021. That's actually the exact same day that your no-show assignment is due. Okay, so please make sure that you get both the no-show assignment in and your quiz on lessons 1 and 2, the first 2 lessons, first 2 chapters in the text. Make sure you turn those in. Make sure you, complete the quizzes on Blackboard. It's all on Blackboard by Sunday, 29th, 2021, 11:59 p.m. If you miss it, you miss it. There are no retakes. And each quiz is worth 1.25% of your total grade. That may not sound like a lot. If you miss one or don't do well on 1 or 2, it's not the end of the world. But if you habitually miss quizzes, get zeros on them, or if you the quizzes that you take, if you don't do well on a lot of them because you don't do the reading, you don't do the exercises, that can be a serious problem. Okay, please make sure that you complete the lessons in the book and you do the quizzes on time. Okay, so as you read down the course schedule here, you see we go through the semester. Every week we do a different lesson in the book, and every week we have a different quiz due by 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday of that week. We have our first project due in week 4 on September the 12th. Sunday, September the 12th, due by 11:59 p.m. That's going to be a project where you edit you begin the process of editing a simple scene. It's a basic dialogue scene. There are project assignment sheets that go with each project. You'll find the project assignment sheets on Blackboard. Okay, if you go to the course content area, you can see I have a folder for quizzes. You click on that. When it's time to take a quiz, you click on the proper quiz and take it. Also, there is a link for projects. Here are the projects. I have 2 of the 3 here. I'm going to add a third one. Okay. You always have elements that you will need to complete the project. One of the biggest elements that you'll need for these projects is you will need to download media, that is video footage that's been shot of the film. Okay, the film scenes you're going to be editing together. You're going to have to download those from my Google Drive, or I think I have them on my OneDrive as well. And also you're going to have to download some project files, the Premiere Pro project files that are kind of like the getting you started file. You double click on the Premiere Pro project file, it'll launch Premiere, and it'll kind of get you set up to begin working on the scene. Okay, you will learn more about that in the course. But the idea is I'll always link to everything you need, either in the Dropbox where you're going to upload your final project file when you're done editing, or I'll communicate with you through announcements and email. Like, for example, the media files that you need, it's way too big to attach to a Dropbox. You have to download those from my OneDrive, as I said before, and you'll get an email a little later on giving you instructions as far as how you do that. So that's the projects folder. Told you about the quizzes. Of course, your exams, midterm and final exam would be right in there. You get a professionalism grade. I have quite a few video tutorials, okay, on different techniques and different methods that you'll be using as editors. One of the first ones you need to watch is this first one, Chapter 1, Launching Premiere, Basic Interface Tour, and the Project Panel. That gets you oriented as far as how Premiere Pro looks and how it works. So I suggest you watch that as quickly as early as possible. These other ones are on different topics, mostly intermediate to advanced editing, advanced editing technique. You'll see that I referenced the chapter that the technique is listed in. Notice that I never do a full review of an entire chapter, because if I did, what would be the point of you reading it and doing the exercise yourself? And also on top of that, it's just so much material that it may take an entire week's worth of classes, 2 classes fully, for me just to go through the chapter, the exercises. I will, during our meeting times on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, I will review and highlight some of the more salient points from the chapter, the exercise, things I want to kind of highlight and bring to your attention, that it's important, core concepts, but it's not going to be a word for word retreading of the chapter. We don't have time for that. By the way, sometimes we call them chapters. The book calls them lessons. So if you hear the word lesson is the same thing as chapter. Chapter 8 is the same thing as lesson 8 in the book. Okay. Ready? So we go back out to course content. We've covered everything in the course content section. And another thing that you will have access to is you'll have access to some really, really, really thorough PowerPoint presentations. And these PowerPoint presentations are basically walking you through the process of these projects. Like this first one, lesson 1, editing basic dialogue, that's your first project. This PowerPoint literally walks you through that process. Now, I will tell you, this PowerPoint is very long because it talks about history and theory and introduction first, and then it goes step by step by step. I strongly suggest that you read this, you start reading it early on, because I step you through it. I spent a lot of time putting this together, and it's a lot of slides. As you can see, 122 slides. I will most likely break it up into bite-sized chunks into different editing different parts of the editing process. We'll have like maybe 40 slides will be on media management and getting organized. Another 40 will be getting started with the rough cut. Another 40 will be refining the edit. So I'll make it nice and more user friendly by the time you get around to it. But I want to make sure that you do know that you have that at your disposal. It's extremely useful. The media files and the 3 projects are actually from another textbook on another program called Apple Final Cut Pro 6.0. It's the book that the information in the PowerPoint comes from to a large degree, and the media and the project file come from The Craft of Editing in Final Cut Pro by Michael Wohl, W-O-H-L. It's an excellent book. It came out a long time ago, over 10 years ago. It addresses a different program from what we're using, but it doesn't so much talk about how to operate the program as it talks about just how an editor thinks when they are editing, say, a music video versus a short dialogue scene versus a fight scene versus a documentary, okay? Because these are different. You have different approaches as an editor, and that's what this intermediate to advanced level book covers. What I've done is I have translated all that information from Final Cut Pro 6 to Adobe Premiere Pro and converted all the media so that we can use these media files and learn the same lessons, but in the program that we use. So I'm very excited about it. It's something that it's a passion of mine as far as getting those files converted and usable in programs that we use. So what you need to know from right now is just make sure that you read your announcements, read your emails. Make sure that Monday morning at 10 a.m. you click right here for our weekly class meeting and read your syllabus. And I will see you then. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.